as always, a big welcome to 5 Minutes With. I'm joined this evening by the beautiful Claire Stone, who is a spiritual author and angel intuitive. So you can imagine how excited I am to be with her this evening. Claire, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie. I'm fantastic. Thanks for inviting me on here.
Honestly, it's as always with all our guests. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm looking at you, and you just seem to have like an angelic glow around you already. Now, Claire is so spiritual that you've actually been able to see and hear angels from a very young age. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us a little
I've,
bit about that.
so I've always had the spiritual awareness. And when I was a kid, I used to experience astral projection. That's where you come out of the body. I used to have lucid dreams and could see spiritual beings. So I've just always been that way.
Did that freak you out at all? How do you deal with that as a young child?
As a young child, it's really fun and I absolutely loved it. It was only when I started telling my grandparents about it, and they were scared of it because they're Christians, that I started to get a bit scared of it. But then in my teenage years, I had this like thirst for spiritual knowledge. So I got back into it and started intentionally awakening it again.
That's amazing. And there's so much that we can discuss with Claire. Claire is a published author of the book. I've got it written down here, The Female Archangels. There it is. She's holding it up. I can't wait to get my hands on this. It looks so exciting. I talk to angels all the time, so I love that you've written all about that, all about female empowerment. I'm sure as well. And you've also run the award-winning academy, the Angel Mystery School. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's so my online school, you can either take courses and do them yourself online, or you can join the membership where we meet up every 2 weeks and we do meditations and masterclasses on all kinds of weird and wonderful spiritual stuff.
I'm loving this. I mean, this is just up my street. But there's something I really want to discuss with you tonight. It's had a lot of hype in the media, and it's one word, and that is manifesting. And it's thrown about a little bit loosely, I think, and not actually many people probably understand, myself included. I'm still learning, but I'd love to chat to you about manifesting. Could we start with what is manifesting?
Okay, so everybody is constantly manifesting, always, whether you're aware of it or you're not. We all have these energies, our thought is energetic, and whatever we're thinking about, we are co-creating our reality. So if we are expecting positive things and we're optimistic and open-minded, then we're going to experience more of what we want to see in our lives. But if we're going through struggles and hard times and we're really focusing on that, then like a magnet, we attract more circumstances that are a vibrational match for our thinking and feeling.
So this is very much the law of attraction. Like attracts like, and what we put out there is a reflection of what we receive back. But say, for example, somebody wants to manifest a relationship or a new house or a new job. How should they go about doing that?
Well, the first thing, which is incredibly obvious, but not everyone thinks about it, is you need to know what it is that you want. So I always say to people, like, imagine that you go into a restaurant and given a menu and you tell the waiter, I'll have anything, and you're a vegan and then they come and give you a meat feast pizza, then you're not going to be very happy with that, are you? And that's how a lot of people live their lives, because they think that fate is controlling their life, but really we have some control over our destinies. So if you tell the waiter what it is that you want, then you've got a chance of getting it. So that's step number one, knowing what it is. And then you need to take action and do absolutely everything that you can to make this happen. So it's just the baby steps. And then it's believing it as well. And, reprogramming your brain with hypnosis and affirmations. Because, of course, if like me, you grew up in a home where your parents are on benefits and you're poor and you don't know anybody who's got wealth, then it could be ingrained into your subconscious mind that this is an impossible thing for you. So you really need to work on that as well, literally rewiring your brain so that you can receive.
So that's interesting. So imagine you're in a situation where at the moment, a lot of people are struggling financially, and you really want to change this around. So, obviously, we can also, you can imagine it in your mind, but I know it's more than that, isn't it? I think you've got some great tips that we can do when it comes to affirmations and actually making this become a reality. For example, what did you do?
Well, so going back to my background where I literally grew up with not much at all. I hardly even went to school. I was a young carer. My parents were alcoholics. So I had no experience of wealth or creating wealth. And I didn't even think that I would be a homeowner or anything like that. They were like for rich people. But as I started learning about manifesting and realizing that what I'm focusing upon is growing in my life, then I started with small things. So you've got to believe that it actually works. So I always say to people, look, if you are on the edge and you kind of don't know whether you believe in it or not, set an experiment. I did this on live TV on Steph's
Love
platform.
this. Tell us about the experiment you said.
And that experiment was to prove that your guardian angel exists, but you can do the exact same experiment to prove that the law of attraction exists. And you ask the universe, you put out a request and ask for it. So, for example, I had people on the TV saying, right, I took them into a meditation and said, right, ask your guardian angel now, if you're real, in the next week, I want to see and give them something that you want to physically see.
Like something random, like a pink elephant.
Yeah. I said, don't make it easy with your white feathers and your robins. That's too easy. Angels are miracle workers. Make it harder, a purple feather or something random. So that's what we did. And I'd got out the studio, turned my phone on, and it was literally blowing up. People were manifesting stuff like literally straight away. They couldn't believe it. Like, oh, I asked for this. Someone asked for an orange Mini, the car, and straight away they seen one. Someone asked for a particular animal, can't remember what it was, and the documentary that was on after the show was about that animal. So like you can use the exact thing. All right, universe, I am going to manifest. Now if you read the books, they'll say like manifest a parking space or a cup of coffee. They are like super easy ways of proving that you can create what you want. And then it builds your confidence so that you can start manifesting bigger things.
So start small,
Yeah.
first of all. Get your faith in the universe, in trusting with your spirit guide, your guardian angels. Say, for example, you wanted to manifest, and I said, right, I want to know whether, this is the perfect guy for me. Show me a pink dinosaur. What happens if I don't see that pink dinosaur? What does that mean?
So when you want to manifest a relationship, you don't manifest a particular person. You leave it, you trust the universe to find the perfect person for you. And you trust that in the right time you'll meet the right person, because if you force something like that, then it could have negative repercussions. And equally, if you are forcing and pushing, then that is telling the universe that you don't trust. So it's that balance of not clinging on too tight, putting the intention out there, but not checking every day, oh, has it happened yet? Because then you're in fear, not in trust.
No, it's interesting because I often do readings on myself, and I know you do readings too. And I often pull a card. It's called Leap of Faith, and it's all about saying, it's all about trusting. There's not hoping that something's going to be okay. It's about knowing. And I think that's the difference in the mind shift, isn't it? When we hope, we have that element of, but it's not, but it might not happen. Whereas if we know, we're certain, and then we relax. And I think it's that relaxed energy, would you say, that helps the manifesting process?
Yeah, you've got to know that your manifestation already exists and you are just waiting for it to come in. So, for example, I'll tell you about when I got the book deal, because if you're a spiritual if you want to be a spiritual author, most spiritual authors want to be signed by Hay House. Like, they are just incredible. And that was my wildest dream, to be a Hay House author. Now, my ego mind is, well, you didn't go to school, you dropped out because you was a carer and you had anxiety, and who are you, basically? You haven't got a big audience. So the odds were not in my favour, but I knew that I was going to get this book deal. I know if it feels like destiny, if you can make your wish feel like destiny, it will happen. So what I did was, even though I'd never wrote a book, I've not trained in any English or anything like that, I created a book cover and I folded it over someone else's book. And I pretended that that was my book, and I actually signed it. And I imagined that I was at a book signing. I then also did a ritual, and the ritual's on my YouTube channel. I bought myself a candle that said congratulations. And every time I lit the candle, I was celebrating the congratulations for getting the book deal. But that's not enough. Just imagining and visualizing and programming. You have to take action. So I booked on a writer's workshop and started doing the work. And I hired a writing coach to help me to neaten up my writing and all of that. So you can see how together taking action and having these powerful beliefs creates the miracles.
Wow. And, you know, just hearing your story, it's so inspiring. And there's going to be so many people watching tonight who have come from similar backgrounds or are facing difficulties in their lives. And what the message we want to put across is it doesn't have to be that way. There is so much you can do. Now, I'm going to put all of Claire's details on up after the interview, because you do spiritual readings, and we'll put your website, your socials links, but just hold the book up again, because this is definitely one to get, to put on the Christmas list, the Female Archangels. I'm manifesting it already, that I'm going to get my copy. But Claire, you know, you can see you're glowing. You are such an inspiration and an incredible example of living your wildest dreams and turning your life around, which is just amazing. Is there anything that we can end on, something really positive about manifesting that we can leave people with?
My angels are coming through, and the message that they're giving is, don't sell yourself short. Don't do something just because you think you need money. Do something that brings you joy. Do the thing that you always wanted to do, and that will somehow bring you the abundance that you need.
Wow, so listen to that, guys. Don't sell yourself short. It's all about knowing your worth. Claire, thank you so much for joining us. As I said, all Claire's details will be put up after this interview. And from the spiritual universe and all our angels watching, and I know that they are, lots of love to everybody, and we'll see you soon. Good night.